So you guys can't really see it, but I just had it running, started it back up. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't think that this car is ruined based on the leak down test and the compression check. It is good. It does pass. It's all within spec. Once the car starts to get a little tiny bit of heat, it'll start smoking just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it up and show you guys what's going on. But everything I can find is consistent with valve seals. So I went ahead and ordered some valve seals. They're cheap. It was like 30 bucks for the kit with intake and exhaust to make sure that they're legit good valve seals. I looked up, how to do them. I've got all the stuff to do them. You do need some tools, but I have all of them. Valve spring compressor. You need to be able to pressurize the cylinder, which I've got that. I've got everything I need to do them. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna replace the valve seals and see if that fixes it. I don't think that all is lost, and we're gonna try fixing this with a simple part. Pretty simple fix. I also ordered a new valve cover gasket. We're gonna do all that stuff. So let me start it up for you guys and just show you what it's doing right now. So I just started it up. I'll show you guys. So that's not really smoking. I just started up right off the bat. It's idling. There's no smoke coming out of it. So after a couple minutes, once it's heated up, so keep an eye out there. Watch what comes out of it. So I'm gonna rev it up some. So, couldn't even hardly see it there. It's very hard to tell. You can see right here in that darkness right there, there's smoke. So it's only once you've got sustained vacuum on it, which is another reason I think it's pulling oil out of the head past the valve seals. Because right here at idle, I'm not really seeing anything, but if we let it sit here and idle for long enough, it will start smoking, and it's mostly out of this one tailpipe because it's still exhaust from a single input, so obviously this driver's side flows a little bit more. But the other day, what freaked me out when I was sitting there was I was idling for a long time, and then that's when I started noticing the smoke. So that's another clue that I think it's a valve seal issue, is because it's not doing it when you first start it up. If it was rings, it would start it. It would do this as soon as it started up, but it's not. It's got to give time. You got to give it time for it to sit there and idle and draw enough vacuum and build up some oil in that head for it to actually get to the valves to draw them in and start burning the oil. I think we've done a good job narrowing it down. So we're gonna do a little bit of a time skip because I gotta wait for the parts to get here. It's hot and humid today. I don't have the parts. I don't really need to drive this car for any reason whatsoever. So I already took it off insurance just for now because I know I'm not gonna be driving it. So we're gonna time skip until I get the parts, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to do the valve seals on a Honda S2000 and F20 or F22 engine right now. So part two, we are going to take the valve cover off of it, and we're going to replace the valve seals, intake and exhaust. So the first thing we got to do is we're going to have to take the whole VTEC assembly with both the cams and everything out after we get the valve cover off. So we're working on that, taking her apart and get some new valve seals in here.
First, before we get to all that, we got to take all this hosing and wires and everything out of the way so we don't mess any of that up.
Zoom you guys in. There we go.
this? I bet she's sparkle on the inside.
Well, this guy had he had the retainers and the oil squirters from the 2nd gen of this motor put in it, apparently. So it has been out before.
It is a stud.
They're all studs. Alright, so we got the valve cover off, so what I'm going to have to do next is take this whole assembly. The way that Honda does it is that they've got this timing chain right here, has a gear behind it, so it drives the timing chain which drives the gear drives these 2 gears that are directly on the camshaft. So Honda has what everybody knows as VTEC, which is you've got your normal lobes right here, which are these 2 cam profiles, and then when it engages VTEC, there's a rod that slides sideways, which engages the center cam follower, which forces the center cam follower to be locked in, which puts it on this center lobe, which is the one that's twice as wide, and that's the high lift lobe. So when you switch to VTEC, it's a higher cam profile with more duration and more lift, and that's what that center one is. And everything in this engine is looking very clean. What I need to do is figure out where I need to put it in order to time it correctly when I go to put it back on. I am going to have to rotate the engine. But see, there's a dot right here in this cam. Well, there's a lot easier without all that crap in the way. I was doing this the other day with all that crap in here. I still keep hitting my hand on everything. This thing's got so much compression.
Yeah, that also leads you to believe that it's not piston rings.
Well, I did a compression test, and it's every cylinder's over 200. Well, one of them was like 198.
You can hear it too.
Yeah, it's good. It's escaping.
Oop. There's 2 marks on that. There's a paint mark and a dot.
Yep, that's what he was talking
Okay.
about. There you go, now it's...
Yeah, so looking straight on, they paint marked the 2 lines.
Yeah.
There's a dot that sticks straight up, and see these 2 dots are facing each other.
Yep.
So that right there should be TDC on cylinder 1, which is this front one. So what I can do now, I should be able to take it loose, pull that whole assembly out of there as a unit, and then once that's out of there, I can I'll have access to the valve springs. And then what I got to do is pressurize cylinder 1, do the valve springs or valve seals, put it all back together, or put the springs back on after I do the valve seals, and then rotate it 180 and do cylinder 4. That's the beauty of a flat plane crank. The only thing I worry about is that when you pressurize the cylinder, you got to watch out, because if it's not perfectly at TDC, if it's just a little bit past or a little bit behind, that air pressure will force it to kick around, and then it's not at TDC, so things come out of line. You just have to turn it around another turn and a half, pretty much. Who wants to take a break?
I do.
All right.
Break time.
We'll see you guys. Each one of these has an arrow facing forward, and that's good. And they're also numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've got this lined up where it needs to be. This shouldn't change, or I can put this back where it is when I go to put it back together. And then when I go to put it back together, I just got to remember that the 2 paint marks are going to face each other right there. Theoretically, that's all of them, so pick it up. Okay, so I'm going to pick this whole unit up. I want to keep it all together. I don't want anything sliding or falling apart.
So you lift by the camshafts?
Yep. Go to the cams. There we go.
Here, I'll help you, and then I'll let you hand off from there. So go ahead. Go straight up. Something right there. Oh,
There he goes.
Oh, lift slower, dude. There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
here, take the other cam. Got the other one?
I got it.
Nah, there it is.
Easy peasy.
And there it is. Here's your cam assembly.
Beautiful. You know, just Honda VTEC stuff. It's very fancy.
I do like that gear setup. That is neat instead of
Yeah.
change over.
I didn't realize until a couple weeks ago that they have that. I was looking up some stuff on it. I always thought it was like the K series where they just run the chain over both of these, but I kind of like this. It's simpler. There's less that can go wrong. It's a shame that this is the worst of the two engines, because the F series, which is this is an F20 or F20. The F20 and F22, they have, the block is called FRM. It's fiber reinforced metal. It's weaker. It doesn't have like the cast iron liners. It doesn't have like spray in liners or anything like that. So these are not, usually you boost these things and they're done soon after that. But luckily, I think it's just gonna be valve seals. So there we go.
Fingers crossed. Look at this man. This man is working right now.
Now we're gonna take a break. I am wet.
And we're back.
There we go. We're just gonna pop these up out of their. They've got,
Oh, they're all coming up.
they've got dowels. I already got them popped in the front. It looks like the front and the back are the ones that have dowels. So this part's kind of difficult. I might have to get my rubber hammer.
There you go.
All right, I got it.
Got it? Oh, now I see what you're saying.
The whole thing.
Look at that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've actually got to spin that one around because I don't want to put these in wrong. This has to go 180. All right. So what are those called, Sam?
These?
Yeah. Those are called finger followers.
Finger followers. Okay.
Fast followers.
Followers.
So the cam pushes here and the valve gets pushed down here. So these things are how you adjust your valve lash.
You don't have lifters.
Oh,
No,
right. I don't
I
have
say it's
lifters.
a-
That's why it's so. A lot of Hondas don't have lifters, and that's why you have to do valve adjustments on them, because they will wear in. And the thing about wearing in is that over time, if you don't do a valve adjustment, you just let it wear in, the valves will actually get tighter where the valve wears into the seat. So like, let's say it's like pushing down like that, and then it wears away right here at the edge of the valve. This will come up and then it'll get tighter, and then your valves never fully close. So that's why you have to adjust these over time. But there's our valves. So this will be the fun part. But we've got the tool for pushing the valve springs down.
I like how they color coded the intake and exhaust valves.
Yeah, it looks like they
Or
painted
springs.
They must have painted the
So
intakes.
the reason I made the joke is GM painted their LS6 valve springs yellow from
Really?
the factory. Yeah,
Interesting.
On intake or exhaust?
both.
Well, that's
Wait, that doesn't make any sense though. Why would?
oh.
It was very common in the 3800 scene for people to run the LS6 valve spring because of slightly higher seat pressure.
Yeah, but if the
later ones, they wound up switching to a blue color.
yeah, but for this, blue's exhaust, yellow's intake. So they
I don't know why Honda did it. I'm just saying that's what GM did. They painted theirs yellow.
Yeah, I would think they would do one color for intake, one color for exhaust.
Typically on a pushrod motor, both of your springs are the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess if they're the same, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming these aren't the same though.
Probably not. That might be
Yeah,
why they're like
that's
that.
probably why they're.
You can
different
also tell
colors.
by the coil of the spring. The
I would say
intake's a little bit heavier than the
Yeah,
exhaust.
that's what it looks like. Those boys are a little bit meatier than them. That's cool though.
What also should be noted on this is
There's
you
your-
notice there is no varnish buildup on this motor at all.
No.
No,
This has
There's
been
also-
maintained really well.
that's another reason why I think that it has bad valve seals, because it hasn't had enough runtime to keep the valve seals in good condition. So you get it driving, you get it just heated up enough just to work, and then you shut it off and it pretty much cooks the valve seals.
And there's your gear that drives your cams. That's cool.
This is our little tool. It didn't have any oil on it for some reason. I'm gonna oil it up. So then it doesn't matter which of these I put it in. This is gonna be what pushes our valve spring compressor down. It's got a rounded in on it. These are gonna bolt to the cylinder head, so you should be able to switch between the two if they're the right spacing. Now this tool was bought for a K series, but I think it's pretty much identical.
Oh, I was thinking the other way about it, but no, that makes sense. Huh?
The only
Actually,
problem
I'm gonna
is
come over on this side of you.
this one right here. I'm gonna have to take this out because that will not work because of this thing.
Unless you take it to
I'm
the
gonna
mill.
I'm just
And I
gonna
wouldn't.
I'm just gonna take it out of there. That's crazy that those are the same distance apart.
Well, I mean, the heads look very similar.
They're very similar heads, but they're not. It's not the same engine.
No.
It's kind of crazy to me that it worked at all. So before I start to compress this spring, I'm gonna have to put air pressure in this. Actually, I need to look at it, make sure it's gonna line up. Yeah, that's crazy that it's the same distance apart. A long time ago, we were working on an engine, and this was when we were still young and naive. We didn't know any tricks, so we were doing valve seals on something. We compressed the valve, took the keepers out, and then we would sit there and we would try forever to put the keepers in. And if you've ever put keepers in just by themselves, keepers they're shaped kind of like this, and they're thicker at the top because they're tapered, so that when that spring pushes up, those kind of stick in there and keep it from coming off. Well, they always want to fall over because they're top heavy, so it's almost impossible to get them both in there without dropping them. That was before I realized you can just put wheel bearing grease on them and it holds them in place.
I remember when we did my cam and my charger, we had the heads off and we were doing the valve springs, and you taught me how to do the keepers in them, and we were using the magnet to try to
we're trying to do it with the
and-
magnet, which was infuriating, and now I know you can just use the freaking wheel bearing grease like it's nothing. So for this first one, I took the VTEC solenoid off, but I'm not going to touch that gasket because it's old and dry and
Piece
it's
of tape or
still
something?
sealing. It'll be fine.
I just grab a gasket.
I can see the spring in there. That's still fine. So this right here, this is the
Retaining spring thing.
is the lost motion springs.
Is it like a dead end hole?
Yeah, that's
that's why
why
it's so
that
dirty.
that's why all this oil up here is dirty. But that's why that's what takes up the slack for the larger cam profile when it's not engaged. So you have to have those in there, or it'll just clatter around like crazy. So I should be at top dead center So I need to go through and take the plugs out, and I should be able to put pressure in the first cylinder, and then compress this spring and take the keepers out and do my first valve seals. This is the exhaust side, so we're back. The demons are back. Nice and white.
Factory plugs?
Probably.
NGK-IR. They are IFR7G, so it's heat range 7. That sounds right.
It ain't ring, so it's gotta be the valve seal or where that's not.
Alright, you got that?
Yep.
That's probably the rings.
It's weird because it doesn't even move at all.
Well, that time it didn't, but all it takes is a little bit, and if that wrench is on it and we're not holding it, then it'll go flying. There we go. Alright, do not let that move, please. Let me get my magnet.
Right here.
Oh. One. I should have got it. I should have told him to grab it.
Grab the smaller magnet.
Well, I gotta go down there and get a cup anyway once I get this bitch.
Put your finger in there.
I'll do it. Got a magnet tip screwdriver. Yeah, there we go. Alright, don't let go yet.
Nope.
I'm gonna bring it up. Beautiful.
And just like that, spring number 1 is out. Got that?
Is it still recording?
Yep.
Okay, so I just want to try to get this swapped.
That's it.
Quick.
And there goes the spring.
So, spring is off. Now we're in crunch time because I got to get that thing out of there.
Ooh! Pop yourself in the jaw.
No, it bounced off the tool here. So that was our valve seal.
That's the valve seal. Okay.
Looks like it might be.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Show the camera.
She's all blown out. All right.
Watch you can set them now.
I'll show you guys side by side right here the difference in size between that hole going through. It definitely needed these. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap this out so you can relax.
It's okay. I'm not cramping up at all. It's alright.
Okay. Don't worry, I can hold this all day. There's a little piece of shmoo in there. I got that off. Whoa, there's a lot of pieces of shmoo. God.
Can you push on that valve at all?
No.
No, I mean, I just want to make sure it's not.
Oh, it's fine. It's not going to get on in there. Yeah, I don't want to risk anything.
Yeah. Probably should throw some oil on it before you put it in.
It's got oil on it.
Okay.
It'll be alright.
That was definitely.
I think I have to use the socket. I can't get anything straight on it. Okay.
And this is where the fun begins, because you're trying to get them little seats on there.
Yep.
Watch closely, kids.
This is a good skill to have.
both sides?
Here it is.
Boom. That's one.
Now you can rest for a minute.
How's it going?
That's one.
My hand is cramped.
It got really hot out here, like really quick. I don't understand. Okay guys, so the next part, I just have to go through and do all these valve seals. It's gonna be very tedious. I'm just gonna put you guys on a time lapse, and then hopefully when we come back, it'll be back together and ready to start. I'm just gonna time lapse this. We gotta get this done, so let's go. So I did forget to turn the camera on, but I got cylinder 1 done. You can see I've got wheel bearing grease on each of those retainers, and I'm gonna go ahead and do cylinder 4 next. The big problem that I've been having with these is that when I go to compress, at least so far on the intake valves, when I go to compress it, the keepers don't release and the valve goes down, which releases all the pressure out of the cylinder. And I mean, I've got this thing cranked up to 120 psi. So what I've been having to do to get that to release, because I tried tapping it with a hammer, I tried doing all kinds of stuff. What I've been having to do is make sure that I've got a wrench on the crankshaft and I've got the piston all the way at top dead center. And because of that, I'm able to press the valve down with the tool until it actually hits the piston. And then I'm pressing just a little bit further until those keepers release. Then they shoot out of there pretty much. I have to put my hand over it to keep them from flying. I already had to go looking for one. I found it. It shouldn't be enough pressure to bend these valves. We're just trying to get these keepers to release, but if there's that much force in it, there's nothing else I'm going to be able to do it. So that's going to be my process going forward. For whatever reason, it didn't do that on any of the exhaust valves, and I don't know why. I think it's because of the intake valves. The tool is kind of tilted. It's hitting some aluminum parts of the casting in the head, but whatever, it's working. So I haven't broken any keepers yet. I haven't lost any. I'm just going to keep doing it that way. I want to get cylinder 4 done. Then it's all downhill from there because I'm not up against the firewall and I've only got 2 more cylinders left to do. I'm going to put some music on. This is literally back breaking work. My back is killing me. I need some kind of distraction. You guys are going to watch time lapse, and this time I'm not going to forget to turn you on. So here we go. What you doing, Bubba? Exploring? Okay. Good boy. Alright, so I got this back in here. Got all the valve seals swapped. And now what I need to do is I'm going to try to put this in there next. It's going to be hard by myself, but I'm going to try to do it. Once that's in there, then I can put the cams in it with the towers, clamp it down, figure out what the torque spec is. So I'm going to get to it. Somebody is just exploring. Sorry about the pink butthole. We're going to try these. So I got the valve cover back on there after I reset the cams, set the timing, torqued everything. Slowly putting it back together, but this one spark plug fell and I think it landed on a paper towel, luckily. But I want to check this gap, and I should check all the gaps on all of them anyway. This is at 0.039, so let's see what the others are. I'm good on that. I'm gonna put the plugs back in. I love making you people squirm every time I do this. Oh, I already have the website open. Spark plugs, 18 foot-pounds. Okay, spark plugs are torqued. So what you guys didn't see, before I put that valve cover on, I put fresh gaskets. I put fresh gaskets for the spark plug holes in the valve cover and the actual valve cover gasket. And it came with these nice new bolts, which were nice and shiny and new. Everything new that I can get. If you look, the engine sits so far back in there that you look up and there's this big empty space right here. The engine's way back further. And what I thought was cool, I was looking at it earlier, because of course you got this big brace right here that you can see that everybody has to cut off whenever they do like an LS swap, just to get that extra room. But that brace is just forward of the center line of the wheel. But then if you look at the center line of the wheel where this engine is, you can see the engine itself is entirely behind the center line of the wheel, which is really cool to me. It's another reason this car handles so well. Not as fast as I want it to be, but it is definitely a fun car. It's hitting the limiter. I need you to
move your truck or something.
Well, yeah, go ahead and do that. I gotta go find the code reader.
Okay.
All right. Now let's try it. Alright, we're gonna let this thing warm up and then see if it starts smoking. It's raining, so I'm gonna open the garage door and then bring it back down a little bit so it's not raining all over it. He's running and idling just fine. It's only been about 3 or 4 minutes, so give it a little bit more time. But nice and quiet and smooth. And so far so good. I'm not seeing any smoke yet. Let's hope. Alright, so we've been letting it sit here and idle for a while. At about 10 minutes, it did start burning some blue oil, just like it did before. And we both kind of started freaking out. But then we noticed that since then it's cleared up. It no longer appears to be burning blue oil. There's just this, you know, moisture-filled, grayish colored, you know, heat. Just normal exhaust gas smoke. It's also so humid that it just rained, so it's another reason why we're seeing that right there. But we're not seeing any blue smoke coming out of this thing anymore, so I'm gonna call that fixed. And here, let me rev it up for you guys. Here, hold that. None of that looks blue, did it?
Nope.
Alright, I'm gonna call that fixed. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Or we'll see you next week if this isn't actually fixed. Either way, see ya.